All right, guys, this is the Imperfect Together podcast with Zach and Chris. Chris will sometimes be doing the podcast, sometimes he won't. So it should just be called Imperfect Together with Zach, or Zach Kruger Presents Imperfect Together. We're going to change that logo because he doesn't want to do this anymore.
You're just so much better at it.
He has bigger fish to fry, and so
I don't like fish.
What do you like?
Steak, chicken,
Anything
but fish. I'll eat it, but I do not enjoy it.
So you don't enjoy like Florida food, like seafood food, like shrimp?
But I do like fried
Flounder.
I like fried shrimp. I like calamari. So if it's fried.
That's octopus.
Yeah.
No, that's squid.
Yeah, but it's fried, so it's good.
Yeah. So you like fried seafood.
I don't know.
Have you ever had scallops?
That sounds terrible.
No, they're good. Fried scallops.
I'm gonna venture out and say no.
Fried scallops are good. If you like calamari.
Scallops,
like
the white things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're fried.
I don't like those. I don't know. I haven't tried them fried.
Yeah.
If I'm ordering something
Next
and
time
I'm
you go to
paying
Florida-
for it, I'm not ordering
Next time you're in
seafood.
Florida, just get a captain's plate. Just say, hey, I want your captain's plate. And they'll just give you all kinds of seafood, and then from there, and then you say, I want it fried, and then you get all the fried seafood. And you just pick.
I'd rather just order the steak.
You'll just learn, what seafoods you like and what you don't like.
I've had a giant lobster from Maine.
Yeah, did you like it?
It was all right. Like I said,
What's wrong with you? Do you like crawfish?
I don't like fishy tasting stuff or like.
Do you like crawfish?
I don't know.
You never
I don't
had
eat
crawfish?
this stuff, so I don't.
You never been to a crawfish brawl?
Probably not.
You never been to a Louisiana crawfish brawl with corn and sausage?
Just a good old Georgia boy.
Oh, man. I've been to a few Louisiana crawfish broils. I mean, it's all
I hear
right.
they're good. I've done the things
good.
where like it's similar. I don't know if crawfish was in it, but where they just dump everything out on the table.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't know if crawfish was in it though.
It's probably like
Or if I ate
crab legs or
It
something.
might have been like a shrimp boil or
Yeah.
something. I think that's what it was.
All right, well, before we start, today is Chris's birthday. I got you a card. I got you a card. If you want to read it, it says,
It matches your notepad, Zach.
it does. You want to go ahead and read what's inside of it?
Happy birthday, Chris, from Zach.
Yep.
That
And then
is
I
so
also got you an oatmeal cream pie.
That you've been sitting on?
Yeah, I've been sitting on that for about 4 hours now.
How many times have you farted on it?
I don't think I farted today, so that's a good sign.
Or is it not?
Yeah, but it's still in the
Well,
package.
thanks, Zach.
You're welcome.
This is a double-decker cream pie. Never
yeah,
seen
it
one
is.
of those.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, right now it's half of a deck, but
There you go.
well, thanks, Zach. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
How old am I, Zach? Do you know?
You're 38, 39,
No,
37,
37.
37. And I'm 34. I'm younger than you, more spry. I have a question for you. Do you love to people watch?
I do love to people watch. It's
Yeah?
actually very fun.
Yeah. Where's your favorite spot to people watch?
I don't have a spot I go.
Yeah.
I just do it wherever I'm at.
Yeah. So
I just
so if you're at the
take
mall,
advantage of the moment.
So you're at the mall and you see an old lady, what do you think?
I'm watching.
Yeah.
It depends on what she does, is what I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the crazy kids do.
Yeah.
What this couple over here arguing does.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's fun.
Does Tammy like to do that too? Do you guys like to do that
No,
together?
we don't really sit down and do it together.
Yeah.
It's probably more she's shopping, and so I'm just sitting.
If you're at a restaurant and you hear a conversation, are you more in tune to what the conversation back there is?
If it's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, if they're
I'll
like breaking
eavesdrop.
up.
I'll eavesdrop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are fun. Yeah, I kind of do the same thing. Probably not as much. My wife, on the other hand, she loves to people watch. Maybe I'm just not as judgmental as everyone.
Judgmental. It's entertainment. It's reality TV.
But like, I'll see someone and I'll be like, "Oh, that guy's not right. Oh, that person needs help."
So you don't listen on their conversation?
Well, it depends on if they're close enough. Yeah, it depends on there was one time where it's a few years ago, and I was witnessing a breakup at a restaurant.
Ooh, that'd be an interesting one.
At a Chili's.
You took her out to eat to break up with her?
No, I didn't do it.
No, I know. I said he or she.
I guess he did.
Did he break up with her?
He or I don't know how it got, but she was crying and he was trying to like, calm her down while they're eating spring rolls. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna break up with you right in the middle of the restaurant. We're gonna ruin this dinner.
He's kind of eating the spring rolls and like, she's like, oh, worry. And I'm like,
yeah, he didn't think that one through very well.
No, he didn't, but I enjoyed it. I mean, they were like teenage kids. They were very young.
That makes it even better.
Yeah, they don't know. But she was like, well, life is ruined. You're going to a different college.
Listen,
boys. And he was like, oh, but we could still, be in contact. We could still be friends. We can't be friends after this.
Yeah, don't take her out to dinner to break up with her.
Yeah, do it like in the car where there's no people. And so you don't get blasted on podcasts like this. All right, I have another question. How do you see others? How do you see me?
In what way? I mean, that's a
In
loaded
any way.
question, Zach.
In any way. I'm going to take this off.
Oh.
How do you see me? How do you see others?
I don't know how to answer this.
How do you see others? Do you see others mostly in a positive
Is
way?
there a context? Oh, so...
Or do you see people mostly in a positive way or a negative way?
Heck, if I'm being honest, it depends on the mood I'm in.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, I try to see the good in people, which also gets me in trouble a lot because I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
you
not.
don't have really good discernment.
My wife does. That's what I have a wife for.
Yeah, I have really great discernment.
She's much better at it than me. I try to find the good in people, and a lot of times it bites me in the butt.
Yeah.
But
there's one time.
I'm trying to be nice.
There's this one time. I don't know if this is going too far. I hope she's not listening. I have this friend that divorced her husband. But before any of this, like at the wedding, I was like, man, there's something off about this guy.
Yeah, so my wife's the same way. She'll know. She'll know
but
months ahead of anybody else.
But she was happy at the time, and she was always wanting a wedding and all this stuff. So I was like happy for her and excited for her. But I was like, man, there's something off. And then like a year ago, we find out that he cheated on her and like all this stuff, and it was like kind of a messy divorce. But I remember telling Catherine, I was like, man, like there's just something off, but I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
But there's something off about that guy.
Yeah.
I couldn't put my finger on it. Like I couldn't accuse him of anything. I was like, man, there's just something weird about it. And I was like that with a few other girls that are friends with me that brought guys over. I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. See, I'm the guy that he's probably just having a bad day, or I'm coming up with excuses for them.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's judgmental, if that's just good discernment. What's the difference between discernment and judgment?
Let's see. Judgment, I think, is a definitive.
Yeah.
I'm judging you for this. Discernment
this is completely off the top.
Maybe picking up on cues of something's not right
here.
Yeah,
I'm picking up cues.
Yeah, kind of getting into that gut feeling sometimes. Yeah. It's not a direct judgment, but it's something's off. Yeah. I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
Yeah.
Type deal.
Yeah, that's where
Maybe that's what it is.
All right. How do you see yourself?
Let's see.
How do you see yourself, Chris?
Man, as somebody who has a lot of work to do.
A lot of work to do?
A lot of I like to think I'm pretty smart and got some things together, but I also know that there's a lot of work I got to do on me.
Good for you.
I don't have it all together.
All right.
Like I want to be.
All right.
I also realize I get injured a lot more lately.
Yeah.
This is not to your question.
Because you're old.
Because I'm getting older.
Yeah. But
I have a shoulder injury. I don't know how I got it, but I can't do anything.
But he wears Harley t-shirts to make him look like he's in his 20s.
It's Hurley, not Harley.
Whatever.
But you get it right.
It's like, man, if I put this
I
put this Hershey shirt on, maybe, the kids will think that I'm younger and more spry.
I've actually never had a problem trying to fit in with kids. I could care less about. I wear t-shirts and jeans all the time. I'm not going to be the fashion guy. I'm not going to fit into their styles. Just me. I like Hurley because it's a surfing brand. I like to surf.
You like to surf?
Wake surfing.
Wake
I'm
surfing.
never at the ocean, so I can't do regular surfing.
Yeah.
But
I've surfed a few times. I see myself as pretty cool, outspoken, funny. Just a dude's dude.
just a dude's dude.
Yeah, like I just, got like a man cave and I just man out,
Where's your man cave?
I don't have a man cave.
Exactly.
Garage.
Got the garage.
It's where my tools and, my skateboard stuff and my dead ashes.
When's the last time you built something, Zach?
Yesterday.
What'd you build?
I completed a deck. A skateboard
Like
deck.
a skateboard deck?
Yeah.
So it was a skateboard kit? Where you...
Well, it wasn't really. I bought certain things from different areas to make it how I wanted it.
Okay.
It took me a little bit, but I got it.
We had to put together a trampoline the other day with our neighbors. There's 3 of us.
I love putting it together.
The box said 90 minutes. I'm pretty sure it took us 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
So I got a PS5. It took me 6 hours to put it all together.
What's there to put together?
Well,
you plug in a few cables.
Well, like I had to. Well, Catherine left, and it was just me and Catherine. Catherine left with the kids, and I was like, I'll put this PS5 together. It'll take me about an hour. It literally took me 8 hours to put it all together and like download everything that I wanted to download and all this
That's
stuff.
because downloading that crap.
But no, it wasn't even that. It was like, I don't know. It was something weird. It was like, it wanted me to download an updated file, but I needed to log into this, but it wouldn't log into this until it was downloaded. And so I was struggling with that. And I was also struggling with like,
that is my pet peeve with games these days.
And then moving moving the whole thing, because I'm not as, strong as I was. So lifting that and bending over and putting the cords in and it was a workout afterwards. I didn't play any games. After the 8 hours, I was bent. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm leaving it on and just letting it download whatever it needs to download, and maybe I'll play a game tomorrow. And I didn't play a game tomorrow because I had to download all the games.
That's what makes me mad about games. You can't just get a game and put a game in and play.
And you know what?
That's such an old man thing for us to say.
The graphics are just about the same.
It's not that much better?
It's not that much. I heard that
I'm sure
they're
some
better.
are, but
I heard that they're better if you have a 4K TV, but I'm not paying for a 4K TV.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't know what I have. I don't really care.
Yeah. We're getting way off the subject.
This is what old men do. We don't care about we don't care about the graphics. I just want to plug the game in and play.
Yeah. But with 2 kids, I barely even play the thing.
That's true. I never played video games.
Now we use the PS5 for Octonauts. So that's bad.
It's just to play Netflix.
Yeah. This is a really expensive
device.
You
could have got a Roku.
Yeah, it's a really expensive device to watch Octonauts. So in the past few weeks, we've been discussing what it means to follow Jesus, and like we talked about what it means to follow him, what it means to learn from him, and today we're going to discuss what it's like to live like him. All right. So when I say that, when I say to live like Jesus, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, I just start thinking through the stories in the Bible of when he was living here on earth.
Yeah.
Right? So, you can pick any number of them. So, looking at this series of Follow Me, and if I have to live like Jesus, then I say, okay, I got to look back at, how did Jesus live? And I got to start looking into that to find the answer to what it means for us then to live like him.
Do you think a lot of people will think that, well, that's impossible because Jesus was holy and he was untouched and he was, all these things. He was God, and so it's like, well, I can't.
If our goal is to be Jesus, but our goal isn't to be Jesus.
Yeah.
It is more to be like him.
Yeah.
If I'm an athlete, my goal is to be the best athlete I can be. And I have this level that I want to reach. Doesn't mean I'm going to reach it, but it doesn't mean I don't attain to that.
Yeah.
I try to get as high as I can. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
right? It won't happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I can't practice and try to become like Michael Jordan
Yeah.
and get as close as I can. Because at least if I'm doing that, I'm getting further than I can if I just say, I just want to be like me.
Yeah.
And then I won't have a very good basketball career.
Yeah.
Or zero.
All right. While we before we continue the next subject, we got to shout out to some of our sponsors. Mocha Joe.
We got sponsors.
Mocha Joe. When Joe's in the coffee, you got to put the mocha in it. Mocha Joe Coffee in Fort Smith.
Is that how their slogan goes?
Yeah. I don't know.
So you're sponsoring us.
Yeah.
We'll write your jingle for you.
Yeah. So, Mocha Joe Coffee, the coffee of choice for the Imperfect Together podcast.
I don't like coffee. Sorry, Mocha Joe.
They do tea. They do fruits. I think. I don't know. My wife really likes them. They know. She knows the owner and stuff.
I'm all for it.
Whenever I was about to die and all that stuff, apparently she went to Mocha Joe's all the time, and they were kind of like counselors for her.
That's good.
They were like, "Oh, here's your coffee. Let's
Good
talk
people.
about our
Good
feelings."
people over there, Mocha Joe's.
Yeah, it's Mocha Joe's coffee. They don't even know that they're getting sponsored right now.
No. It's a freebie.
I'm expecting some money. All right.
Free coffee.
Yeah. So I'm about to read some scripture. And this is a conversation that Jesus is having with his disciples. And it's John 14, 15 through 24. And this will kind of give us an understanding of what it is to live like Jesus. All right. And it goes, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments. And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another helper to be with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees him nor knows him. You know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you. I will not leave you as orphans." I think that's awesome. "I will come to you yet a little while, and the world will see me no more. But you will see me, because I live, you also will live. And that day you will know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you. Whoever has my commandments keeps them. He it is who loves me, and he who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and manifest myself to him." Judas said to him, "Lord, how is that you will manifest yourself to us and not to the world?" Jesus answered him, "If anyone loves me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him. Whoever does not love me does not keep my words, and the words that you hear is not mine, but the Father who sent me." That's a lot to unpack.
Dude, here.
But
Am I jumping in too
yeah,
early?
you go ahead. You go ahead.
I think this is when it gets down to the core of what it really means to follow Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I remember, so like this past, so last weekend was Easter at the time of filming this, and Kevin, our pastor, was talking about how, even the demons know who God is. Even the demons believe in God.
Yeah.
Right. And so a lot of times in this world of Christianity that we live in, we think, oh, I just have to say a prayer. I just have to believe in Jesus and I'm going to heaven and whatever. And that's all good and dandy.
Yeah.
But the reality is, so do the demons.
Yeah.
So do all the bad people. They can believe, and there's scripture that supports
demons
that of
know.
who they know.
The demons know
So the
the scripture.
difference is not just knowing Jesus or knowing about Jesus, but obeying the commands of Jesus. And that's how you show that you love God, is by being obedient to what he's teaching, which is probably kind of what y'all talked about last week, as you learn. So as we learn, true faith then becomes, how do I put that in action? Yeah. I think that's where we got to get to today.
Produces much fruit, which is, we talked about the fruit of the Spirit, which is love, gentleness, joy, kindness, self-control.
Yeah, you got most of them.
Yeah, most of them. So with all that, with that scripture, I want to talk about what the world is when he's talking about the world. when Jesus
Okay.
is talking about the world, who God is, what he's saying, who he is, and who we are in this.
Okay.
So, first, I want you to tell me what Jesus is saying here when he's talking about the world.
Which verse?
Through the whole thing, he's talking about the world.
The world cannot accept him.
Yeah, but well, I could answer the question for you since you don't know. The
Just
world,
getting some clarity, man.
the world. What he's saying about the world is not necessarily like the fish or the trees or the forest or all this stuff, but he's talking about being born to sin of the world, Adam and Eve and all that stuff. So that's what he's saying. You will manifest yourself to us and not to the world, as in you will manifest yourself to me as I am to my Father, for then you will have access to the kingdom. That's the gist. What God is saying in this, what Jesus is saying in this, is pretty much what I just said, that He is the door to the kingdom. And what our thing is in this is just to be in Him, if that makes sense. Like when we talked about last week, when we talked about John 15, and we talked about the vine and the pruning and all that stuff, being in Him, which means talking to Him daily, reading Scripture, really focusing on that relationship with Christ. Because, like I said last week, whenever which you weren't there because you were taking a dump, last week we talked about whenever your life ends in this world, what are you bringing with you? You're not bringing with you the car that you own, right, or your Nissan wussy truck that you drive.
GMC.
Okay, Mr. Vitamins. No, that's GNC.
That's GNC.
I get that confused. But you're not bringing all this stuff with you.
No, you're not taking any of that with you.
But what you are bringing is your relationship with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the strength of that is what you're bringing to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's super important. And I also want to talk a little bit about the disciples, Peter and John. Through this whole process of them following Jesus, they obeyed Him. They listened. They were confused at times. They definitely had some hiccups with trusting Him, especially Simon Peter, with walking on the water, and like he looks down, he's like drowning and all this stuff, and he's like, why would you? And Jesus is like, why would you doubt me? Like we've had this conversation a million times. Like he says it over and over again. Why do you doubt me? Why do you doubt me? Even the disciples, they had their problems, they had their issues and all that stuff, with trust and all this stuff. Even when they were seeing all these miracles and feeding the 5,000, they're like, oh, we're gonna get all this food, and Jesus is like, oh, well, bah, I don't think he said bah. Maybe he said like Kazam or something.
Here's the deal though. Like, so if you think about it, so let's go back to if we take Peter and John, back to when Jesus said for the first time, "Follow me."
Yeah.
And it says they left their boats and left everything and followed Him.
Yeah.
Well, then as you continue walking through the life of Jesus and how He led the disciples, he used a lot of object lessons.
Yeah.
Right. So even the feeding of the 5,000, the disciples are like, hey, what are we gonna do? He's like, I don't know. Y'all figure it out.
Yeah.
And so they find this boy that has this food.
Lunchbox.
Yeah. Like 5 loaves and 2 fish are gonna feed a whole bunch of people, and they're like, well, we got this. And Jesus says, okay, I can work with that.
Yeah.
Because they at least took action and did something. right? Maybe they've been around Jesus to know, I don't know how the heck he's going to do it, but he always comes up with something. He's like that guy that always just like is always like strikes gold every time.
Yeah.
And so because they took action and were obedient to, even though it made no logical sense, then God could use that. And if you look at a lot of, look at Peter and John, I mean, those are two completely different characters. One is he's out
hot
there.
Head.
He's a hothead. He's high strung. He's going to speak before he thinks.
Yeah.
And John is very reserved, and he's going to think before he speaks.
Very emotional.
But when he speaks, it's going to be important and that kind of stuff. But he always, like, initially when I thought of they left their boats, you're thinking, okay, they just left everything, whatever. But God always brought them back to the boats.
Yeah.
And you look at a lot of the object lessons of when he used them, first was the storm. So he went with them in the storm.
Yeah.
And said, okay, I'm going to have to teach you all a little bit. You're going to learn that I'm in control of the sea.
Yeah.
And so he was with them, even though he was sleeping.
Yeah.
And they freaked out. He calmed the seas, and they learned something about it.
Yeah.
Then the next time he said, okay, now y'all go without me across the thing.
Yeah.
The storm comes again, but this time he comes walking across the water.
Mm-hmm. And they're
so
like, it's a ghost.
It's like they learn a little bit more, and he gives them a little bit more power, but he always brings them back to what they always knew.
Yeah.
They're like the water.
Mm-hmm.
And they still have their boats. He's still taking fishing and saying, hey, go throw your net over here. And they catch a bunch of fish. And so I think a lot of times, like, we had this idea that, if I have to follow Jesus, then I have to abandon everything that I am and everything who I am so that I can go be what Jesus wants me to be.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily the case. Right? Yeah. He uses us. I think that the objective is, okay, will you choose me over fishing?
Yeah.
Will you choose me over football?
Yeah.
And then when you do, okay, I'm not taking football from you. Now you use that as a platform.
Yeah. So I would say the application in all this is, first I would say accepting Jesus in your heart completely.
Yeah,
going
you got
all in.
Mm-hmm.
Just like what Peter and John did. And it doesn't matter what your past is. It doesn't matter what you're going to do in the future. It matters, what it means is like God of the universe loves you and he wants a relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what accepting Jesus in your heart is. It's a relationship. I guess the future does matter. I guess. I don't know. I'm not a pastor. Well, I am a pastor. Am I a pastor? Sure. Yeah, I'm a pastor. Yeah, technically. But also getting in the Word, asking questions. Jesus loved when the disciples asked him questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so, any of you kids or, anyone who's watching, you guys have questions, you can put it in the comments below or, what have yous or, any of the students, you can definitely reach out to me or Chris and, anything, isn't going to be, shocking to us. We've heard it all, Yeah. And so it's good to ask questions, especially when it comes to dealing with your faith and like, oh, do I really believe this? But, I'm kind of scared asking these questions. No, ask them. Ask them. It's super important.
What matters most is you learn something and then you go and apply it.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes this process. We're always growing.
Yeah.
We never have it all figured out. Peter and John didn't have it all figured out. Peter wasn't even there when Jesus died because he denied him.
Yeah.
Right? So we're all in this process of growing, but I think that's what's important.
Yeah.
Learn and then start applying it.
Yeah.
And then come and learn some more.
Yeah.
And just
love people well, and, Chris may say that I was lying about him being in the bathroom for 40 minutes.
making up stories.
I wasn't. He was in the bathroom for 40 minutes. Did you get a hemorrhoid when you were in there?
No, I've never had a hemorrhoid.
Anyways, we're probably going to cut a lot of this.
Without that right
We're going to cut all this. And then... whatever you want to cut, Glennis, you cut it. This is the Imperfect Together podcast. I'll catch you later. See you next week.